Setting up the projection screen. In this chapter, we will discuss how to properly place and set up the projection screen. Optimally, the screen should be centered in the room so that all participants have an unobstructed view, and the waitstaff is able to move about without walking through the projected image. The screen size and type is often specified on your invoice. However, there are situations where you may have to decide on the spot, depending upon the size of the room. In very small rooms, such as wine rooms and small boardroom type situations, there may not be enough room for the tripod screen with its somewhat unwieldy leg structure. In this case, I would advise you to use one of the tubular floor models, which has a much smaller footprint and still has 72 inches of diagonal screen space. In larger rooms, you want the 6 or 8 foot tripod model with skirt. The screen can be adjusted for height, but requires a couple of extra feet at the front of the room to accommodate its tripod leg system. Setting up the tubular floor model. The tubular floor model comes in very handy in cramped and smaller spaces. It has a very small footprint. It will not get in the way of the servers. Upon positioning the tube on the floor, reach beneath and extend the stabilizer flaps, which keep the screen stable when in an upright position. Next, undo the security snaps on the cover and open the cover. Gently, using 2 or 3 fingers and your thumb, pull up on the handle provided at the top center of the screen to extend the screen to the proper desired height. Be careful when raising and lowering the screen, as the mechanism is very delicate and can easily be warped or bent by misuse or poor handling. This is especially important when lowering the screen. Make sure that you apply even pressure to the center and do not force or warp the material in any way, causing it to crimp. Setting up the 6 or 8 foot tripod model. This screen requires that special attention be paid, not only to the way it is set up, but to the way it is taken down and configured for transport and storage. Position yourself behind the screen, facing out towards the room, with the upright screen in front of you and the handle or spine in your right hand. Reach down with your left hand to the leg adjustment knob and release it by pulling it out and pushing down on the legs, causing them to expand into a pyramid shape. Do not splay the legs out too far, but make sure that they're out far enough to provide adequate support for the screen without being an obstacle to the servers and presenter. Still standing behind the screen, rotate the top of the screen in a counterclockwise or left to right fashion 90 degrees until the screen is now in position and ready to be pulled up. Grab the handle in the center of the screen fabric, pull it up, and attach it to the hook on top of the screen spine. Once the screen handle is centered on the spine hook, release the top adjustment knob by pulling outward and lifting upward on the spine extension until the screen is at the proper height. You will feel a snap or series of clicks at various intervals where the screen can be locked into position. Make sure the screen is centered in the middle of the room and aligned with the projector, and then attach the skirt around the base of the carpeted area, dressing the bottom of the screen so the legs and items behind the screen are no longer visible. Most screens will be equipped with Velcro attached to both the screen casing and the skirt for easy attachment. There's also an adjustment at the handle on every screen that should not need to be adjusted except in special situations. The handle adjustment should be set at the correct level for transportation mode, which means when the screen is rotated back into place after use, the security screw goes neatly back into its channel, and the nipple on the top spine fits neatly into the hole provided for it on top of the screen when lowered. This puts the screen back into locked security mode for safe transportation. If the client is using the venue's projection screen, have the waitstaff deploy it when possible.